people want to just hear two people having a conversation about something.
100%. Well, you happen to be live again. so listen, this video, I hope is something that's gonna heal your hearts. If you have loved a man, you have given him your heart, you did all the things right, you were loyal, you were faithful, you were generous, you were feminine, you were warm, you really feel like I took time out of dating, I did the work on myself, and here I am with this man. I know I wasn't the problem. I know I've done the work. I know I've followed all of the rules and been honorable. And I really came out of this interaction so comfortable with how I handled it. But still, this man hurt me. So today's video is why men hurt women who love them. What is that really about? What is it about meeting a man and you are everything he's ever wanted, and then poof, he disappears, or something happens and you are confused about what is going on? So I know a lot of women go through this and say, you know what, I was loyal, I was faithful, so we have Coach Nadine here with us today. She's going to join in the conversation, and I'm going to warn you now, I'll probably do more of the talking because I just want to make sure that the sound is right. I don't want to make her do all the talking and then we don't hear half of what she says, but I think we've tested it and it might be okay. So welcome again, Coach Nadine. It's been fun doing these videos with you.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Now, Coach Nadine is one of our dating and relationship coaches, and her speciality is strategy, but she is a gangster with internal work as well. And hopefully next time we'll have Coach Yvonne on here as well, maybe on speakerphone or maybe in person, who knows. But today, what do you think? Why do you think men hurt women who love them? Or why do you think when a man finds a wonderful woman, he ends up hurting her even in the early stages of dating or later on in the relationship? Do you have any thoughts on that, Coach Nadine?
Yeah, I think when a man hurts a woman, the woman will assume that it has to be us. It must be us, right? It must be you, right?
Yeah.
And I think you have to, it's not always about you.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone's coming in and they're dealing with their own trauma. They're dealing with their own issues. Like, they have their own, like I was talking to my therapist, and they were saying about men, like it's about emotional capacity and where they are on an emotional level, right? So you have to think that when someone's coming in, it's not always your fault. They're coming in with their own sort of issues or trauma, so they'll hurt you. And sometimes because of their trauma, even though it's still hurtful, they don't even realize they're hurting you. And sometimes it's also their capacity. Right. They have a certain capacity. So I don't think men go intentionally say, I'm going to hurt this woman. But their trauma sometimes takes over, just like anybody else's trauma might take over. And that's how you hurt someone.
I love that. It's so funny because we didn't actually discuss it, and I had all these points written down, and that was the first one. It's not about you. When you do everything right and you show up and you're healed, it's not about you. Neither really is it a reflection of how much healing work you've done. Sometimes it's a reflection of what still needs to be addressed and healed within you, for sure. But it doesn't mean that you haven't actually done the work. What it means is that when we go out dating, we pull in all sorts of things. We magnetize all sorts of men. And in this instance, it's really about how you deal with it shows us how healed you are, rather than, oh, I attracted to him, I must still be so messed up. But I just wanted to really dig deeper into what Coach Nadine said about the trauma, because we throw that word around a lot, especially as professionals, because we actually know what it means, and we know what we're talking about. But I understand that not everybody watching this video is going to know what is talking about. So let's talk about the nervous system of this man. Perhaps he has a mother wound. Maybe his mother was not the kindest of women. Maybe she was rough, and maybe he was a naughty boy and she had to handle him with an iron rod. Maybe he was a good boy and she would take out her trauma on him. And sometimes it is a father wound. It's just never really knowing the safety and the comfort of knowing that he had somebody to watch over him and make him strong and capable and competent. We all come into the world with our own stories, and if he hasn't worked on his unconscious story, then the story that you are painting in this relationship and this courtship is very unfamiliar. Remember, the subconscious mind and the nervous system are wired to seek out familiar. Even if familiar is painful, even if familiar doesn't bring the outcomes that he wants, he could really want to connect with you, could really, really want to be your man and give you everything that you need. And he will show up amazingly, so much so that you're going to fall in love with him because he really wants to be that guy. But he has no receptors for the way you are behaving. You're being respectful, you are being kind, you're being thoughtful. And now his nervous system is like unfamiliar, unfamiliar, unfamiliar. And unfamiliar equals unsafe. And so he's gonna pull back, he's gonna get petrified, and he's gonna go away. I was actually listening to something today on Instagram. Coach Nadine, this gentleman that I follow, I must tag him, but or if you're in the House of Swans, if you end up in the House of Swans, do let me know and I'll see if I can find the reel and put it in the group. And he was literally saying that he sabotaged an amazing woman because he just got frightened. He said we were so happy, everything was going so well, and they were having such a wonderful time. And then he said 1 minute, he said he almost had a panic attack, and that was so vulnerable. And he said in his stories that he was scared to even share that. And he was like, he literally got this panic attack of, I'm not going to be good enough, she's going to see that I'm not good enough, she earns more than me, she has more than me, run. And he said he just ended it. And he's always regretted that. And I thought to myself, how ironic. I actually meant to talk about this today because women don't always understand that men have their own trauma and their own wounds. But what I want to ask you, Coach Nadine, is, okay, this happens. He shows up as the man that you want. You get on, you understand each other, you love on each other. Then he hurts you. He usually by ghosting or cheating perhaps on you or sabotaging the relationship. If you've been around long enough, you've experienced this. I had a boyfriend who cheated on me because it just got too much for him. And when we had the conversation, it was like, I just panicked. This is what I do. And he was actually saying, this is what I do. When I feel like I get close to a woman, the next thing I feel is this, I'm going to lose her. So before I lose her, I go replace her. And it was very interesting because I didn't even know he had that level of emotional intelligence. But in that sort of situation where maybe you've been dating for 3 weeks and it's been the most wonderful 3 weeks and you feel so aligned and so connected and so in sync, and you get a text message, or he just disappears and says, you don't hear from him, or you get a text message saying, I just need to back off and think about this or whatever else. Can you just walk us through, Coach Nadine, what can a girl do? What is the appropriate response here, acknowledging the pain that she would probably be feeling?
Well, I think when this happens, I think whatever your flight, whatever your survival mode is, don't do it, right? So
right.
If something like, depending on what type of person you are, so if you're getting a message like that, I think the first thing to do is, I would say, understand, tell them thank you for, let's say they say the message of I need to pull away, or I need some time. You just say thank you so much. I understand, and then let it be. And again, this depends on how you deal with things and how you handle. Some people will deal with things where they just go into avoidance. Some people will start chasing, right? I think what you need to do is whatever you feel like you want to control the situation or make it happen, leave it alone. So for example, if you're the type of person that you feel that you have to chase or pursue or convince, then don't do it. What you need to start doing is start saying, it's not about me. You know what I mean? And start regulating your nervous system. Start, and it might take long. Because it's actually a grieving moment, because you don't know what's going to happen. You literally have to sit still and just wait. Now, if you're someone that will also go into avoidance, then I would also say kind of sit still. It's again reprogramming your mind and learning. It's now taking care of yourself. And making sure that you're not going into a negative headspace where now you're nervous, because we'll tend to say it has to be my fault, it must be me, what is happening. Right. But this is a time and space where you learn how to make yourself feel better and regulate yourself. That person may or may not come back, but the one thing you need to focus on is dealing with the shock maybe, and also dealing with how are you going to make yourself feel safe and make yourself ease your nervous system. Right. So that would be the first thing I would say to do, is start taking care of yourself and not trying to get that person back or pursue, because it might end up being worse.
100%. And a lot of the instinct, like you said, your survival is chase, run after him, try and make sense of it, offer him a better version of yourself or whatever. That is the last thing you want to do, because at this moment you will be missing an opportunity to really grow in your own self-worth. You'd be missing an opportunity to really work on the stuff that's coming out, your own trauma, because relationships, romantic relationships, they trigger trauma in each and every one of us. We are almost bouncing back. And I've always said, and if you go to the House of Swans and you do the free membership, you will get access to the breakup clinic, where I really talk about relationships being about mirroring, and a man coming into your life is a mirror to show you how you feel about yourself, and he's also a lesson to teach you how to feel about yourself. So in this instance, if you go chasing, because that's usually the feeling, because you had this amazing connection and the body wants more, because it's all the dopamine is going and the adrenaline is going, and like an addict you want more of that feel good. Avoiding chasing, avoiding trying to make sense of it, and also avoiding waiting too long. How long do you think a girl should wait before she jumps back onto the dating market again after such an instance?
It depends on their impact. If you're someone that's very sensitive, it might take a little bit longer. It might take a week or 2 weeks. I think for someone else, it might take a week. But I think what you need to do, you can't keep on. You have to grieve, right? And then you have to leave it alone. And I would say, I would suggest then you start going back into it, like maybe a week or 2 weeks, right? Take a week at least, right? A week of this kind of grieving, acknowledging, because sometimes what we do, we try to ignore it. We try by controlling other things, so we ignore our feelings. It's okay to be disappointed or sad and upset and angry, get all those emotions. Someone had said to me, those kind of things are kind of the 6 stages of grieving, even though you haven't lost someone. So I would say about a week. And even when you take that week, take it slowly, but when you go into act as if that was a connection, and that connection, it was like a date. I know it's hard, but you have to say, okay, I haven't heard from that person. I'm going to keep on. I'm just going to keep on moving, because maybe they may not have been the one if they didn't come back, right?
And it's such a shame, because whenever I do speak to men after they've lost the love of their lives or somebody like that, and I hear those stories often when I am on calls with men, they always know what they did and why they did it. But the sad thing is, in the moment, they don't know. And one thing that I do want you to not do is try to fix him. That's another thing as well. We think to ourselves, I can fix him. My love can fix him. I can show him more of that I'm forgiving, that I have more time to offer him. At this point, your option is to choose yourself. I just want to leave you with 2 more points before I move forward, and then we'll let Coach Nadine give some final comments. And this will be the end of this video. And if you want to talk about it some more, leave your comments below and we can come back and discuss it. And if you want Coach Nadine to come back or Coach Yvonne to be here with us on our call, I can have a 3-way. Do let me know. But I just want to leave you with two other points. What happens is this sort of trauma makes a man not love himself. And when a man does not love himself, he cannot love. If you as a woman do not love yourself, you cannot love wholly and completely in the way that you're designed to love, because you're constantly trying to outsource it, and the love that comes from outside will always reflect the love you have on the inside. So you cannot teach a man to have self-love. That is a journey he has to make. So all the hurt you experienced wasn't really about you. It was him projecting the hate and the anger he feels towards himself, towards that comes from that trauma, that wound that he had, those stories that he has about love, where love can't be peaceful, love can't be harmonious. And so you have to understand that it's not about you, it's about the relationship he has with himself. And sadly, a lot of men don't have a healthy relationship with themselves. And can I just say, a lot of women don't have a healthy relationship with themselves. And that's the first thing we do here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, really get you to have a healthy relationship with yourself. And the last point before we say goodbye, and I let Coach Nadine give some final thoughts, is that his trauma made him see you as a threat, where or saw threats where they were non-existent. When a man has unresolved trauma, unresolved wounds, unconscious beliefs that are stopping him from being everything that he's supposed to be in a relationship, you have to understand that whilst you were being amazing, he was actually more conscious of looking out for threats that didn't actually exist. I really want to leave you with this reality that it's not about you. Men come into our lives having done some work, no work, all the work. But whatever manifests, if you know that you've done some work on yourself, we're never going to be fully healed. We're all in a place of healing. And if we find the right partner who is on a healing journey, wants to continually heal, continually grow, and be a safe space for us, and vice versa, we can actually do a lot of healing as a couple together. But you can't force that man. You cannot inspire that man. A man has to want that for himself. He has to be fed up of being that guy for himself. He has to get to a point, like any addict or anyone who has a habit, that habit has to bring them to ground zero. They have to hit bottom. And don't be the woman that he hits bottom with. Be the woman that says, you know what, thank you for showing me where I still need to grow, where my self-worth and my self-love still needs to grow, because I would have never let you hurt me this long if I didn't feel I deserve to be hurt. If we can be those women who can really understand what's going on, and I know it's hard, that's why we're here, that's why this channel is here, that's why my coaching practice is here, that's why Coach Nadine is here, that's why Coach Yvonne is here, that's why my whole team is here, to walk you through it, to hold your hand. You don't have to do this alone. And I bet you've been trying to do it alone, and where's that got you? We're here for you. There's a community of women who are here for you, to help you. And so I don't want to stay too long, but I do want to let Coach Nadine just say her final words. What are your thoughts that we can leave our audience with today about why men hurt the women that love them and what they can do, and mindset?
I just want to add on what you were saying about when you see things like this, it also gives you a snapshot of what your capacity is with that person, because each one of us has a certain level of emotional maturity, right? And it's you trying to figure out, this will give you, is this something that you can deal with and handle? And I'm not saying to fix that person. That's not what we're saying. It's more saying about sometimes depending on the gap of the maturity and the level, you can work with each other, as you were saying, Chengi, about, you know, like if they're at a certain level and willing to work. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to try to fix that person. We want to make sure that person is aware of themselves, and that you're both coming together, work on it, and seeing your capacity. Is this how you want to spend your life? Is this is the type of relationship you want, and this is how you want to navigate it? Those are things that when you see things like this, it allows you to see, how do you vision your life, and what are you willing to accept and not accept, like your boundaries, right? So it's actually, even though it might sometimes be hurtful, it actually shows you how you're going to navigate in a relationship, and where you're at and where that person's at, and knowing we're not here to fix someone. We're here to see how much we're able to tolerate, and will we be safe and content in the relationship as well, right? So that's 100%. What I wanted to add.
And that's the black swan way. What Coach Nadine has just described is the black swan way. Girls, I really want you, at any age, at any place, at any space, to encourage you to take the journey and really be in that position where you call in the one. You call in the man who is able to honor you. You are able to date. You're able to move in the dating and relationship space with so much accuracy, so much intention, so much clarity. Because if you're hoping that the other person will bring you clarity, you're going to live in a fog of confusion. If you're hoping that, you know, you can just wing it and hope for the best, you will find yourself not dating, not availing yourself, getting older, and wondering why God left you out. But I want you to know that God hasn't forgotten you. We haven't forgotten you. There is still so much opportunity for you to begin your love story, and I look forward to being able to be a part of it. Just follow the link in the description so we can meet you in some way, shape, or form. In the meantime, bye, Coach Nadine.
Bye.
Do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye. Hey, beautiful. Thanks for watching. If you are looking to attract or deepen the kind of love that feels safe and lasting, click the first link in the description. It's a 30-day challenge to reset your love life.